What's going on, Leo? And welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you're getting ready to get geeked up for this month so far. It's that time of the month there, Leo. But before we get into that, for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just the phenomenalist. That's the word that came to my head. I'm pretty sure that's not a word. And it keeps us growing. Look at that. I'm so excited for you. I just make up words for you, Leo. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Higher Self has brought you here. We're in for an amazing journey. And let me tell you why this is one that's so extra great, because it is Celestial News Monthly. You know, this could be a really dope one for you there, Leo. I'm excited about this energy. Your ruler's getting ready to move into a fresh, new, lively. We're getting out of that sort of nebulous energy soon and getting into that lively type of action-packed Aries energy. But so this could be one where you feel a little more alive there, Leo. But before we get into that, with these monthly readings, this Celestial News Monthly, whenever your ruler, the sun, moves into a new sign, I'm still working on a title. I was just sidebar. I was just reading something the other day that was talking about how looking at planets as something other than rulers, and I like that. Maybe your guide. I'm still working on that. We'll talk about your guide, the sun, when he moves from a new sign. We're going to talk about where the planets are at and how we can work with the energies there, Leo. And just so y'all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one. So take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me, and never force reading on a situation, okay? So with all that being said there, Leo, let's jump into it. All right, Leo, your space has been cleansed. Crystals, feeling lovely. Just great energy around here, Leo. Now, I have oracle cards with the signs that the sun and the planets are in, and we're actually going to talk about a little lunar shenanigans today here, Leo. That's always exciting. But I'm going to pull an oracle card from this deck for each one of them, and then we'll get some details with the tarot. But before we jump into this thing, Leo, these readings that I do, they're not gender specific readings, so apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations, okay? Oh, all right there, Leo. I'm going to talk about that in a moment. Thank you, guys. And let's see what I was at. Oh, yeah. And the decks, that's why I was going to go up straight. And for the decks that I'm working with, Leo, let me try to transition that smoothly. These, I've included links to them down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested. But also down below are some links for some other readers that I enjoy watching there, Leo. Definitely check them out. One of them actually has their sun placement in Aries, so that might be someone you want to check out there, Leo, to understand how this Aries energy translates. But there's also a link for an astrologer I enjoy watching as well. There are links for a couple of podcasts that I really enjoy, Leo, and there's some links for some astrological tools like apps and things that I enjoy working with as well. And actually, I'm about to include a website down there as well if you're wanting to look at some more information there, Leo. It's a very useful site that I think you may enjoy. But let's go ahead and let's talk about this, like, because Aries season, I feel like, is going to be a very jam-packed type of month here, Leo, or type of birthday season, because you have your guide, the sun, that's going to be entering the Aries. We're having a new moon total solar eclipse in Aries that's going to be happening. Mercury's going to be going retrograde in Aries, and then the lovely Empress Venus is going to be entering into Aries as well. But let's start with the sun, because the sun is going to be entering Aries on the 19th of March. I was like, what month is it? 19th of March. And that'll be at about 8:07 p.m. And that'll be Pacific time there, Leo. And then we'll be there through the 19th of April. Now, with this energy, with your ruler kicking off, this is the time of the vernal equinox. This is we're getting into springtime now here, Leo. Things are coming alive. Things are really starting to. This is very invigorating energy. I feel that this Aries energy can bring. There's always this. I feel like this is really embracing the liveliness that comes with spring. And I feel that this, with the sun shining a light here, I feel that there's this, because Aries is this energy of courage, and they're ones that act on this sign of they go and get what they want. There's this instinctual drive that happens with Aries, which, I feel can seem impulsive, but I feel like it's more so tapping into those kind of instincts in a way, shining a light on and just tuning in to the body. I feel a lot more there, Leo, and I feel like especially for the fire signs, this can be this is a very harmonious energy for you all to be with, because even thinking about your ruler, the sun is exalted in Aries, does very, very well, and I feel this could invite you, Leo, to have more, maybe even express, I feel like, more courage with who you are and having more bravery expressing that and what that looks like, allowing that. Because Leo energy, yes, it's about creativity, but even bigger than that, it's this energy of self-expression, this healthy development of ego, allowing you to just really kind of be yourself in all that means and what makes you happy. Leo is a very uplifting, gregarious type of energy, or not even necessarily gregarious, but very happy energy as well. And so I feel this is inviting you to take the courage to do the things that make you happy, to allow this sort of like unapologetic expression of yourself, allow that sort of childlike innocence to come through with your energy, and to not, again, be nervous about maybe what others may think about you, Leo, or the things that you're doing. Doing, again, these things because they lift your spirits up, they make you happy, they make you shine, they make you just feel bright, and just very pleasant energy. I feel like the sun can bring with this, with it entering. And this starts off the new astrological year with the sun entering into Aries. So now this is taking what kind of reflecting what has happened over this past year, and now that the energies are starting to wake up, getting out of this Pisces, that sort of nebulous ocean that we were in. Now it's like, how do you want to take what you've learned, the things that you've let go, the things that you've forgiven about yourself, where you've met yourself with more compassion, met others with more empathy? How do you take these lessons going forward and sow these new seeds there? And how does that growth look like for you there, Leo? So that's something I feel like to really kind of think about with the sun entering into Aries. And then you have let's talk about this total solar eclipse that's going to be happening in your sign, because that's going to be happening on the 8th of April, and that'll be at about 11:21 a.m., and that's going to happen at 19 degrees 24 minutes of Aries. So if you have any planets or points around that degree, then you may be feeling this more potently. This will affect those, if you have any fire placements, which of course you have those with Leo. This will affect your fire placements. This is going to affect any air placements that you have, Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. And this will affect any cardinal placements that you have, Cancer, Aries, Libra, and Capricorn as well there, Leo. But this new moon total solar eclipse, the new moon is an energy as far as like it's this planting this seed. And I feel with this eclipse happening that, that this energy is happening when it's eclipsing the sun. I feel that it's like the sun is taking, I'm picturing almost like the sun's the burner and the new moon is this cooker. And it's like asking yourself, this could be a very kind of big energy for you, something to get a big start, because eclipses bring about this change. And where do you want to see this sort of drastic change? Where have your instincts been kind of guiding you? You know, this Aries is very interesting when I think about how intuition translates on them. When you get into that more sort of instinctual energy, you know, doing like what you want, and it's not like there's a selfishness that comes with Aries, but I feel like sometimes we can villainize selfishness, but it's more so just asking what you need, what do you want, and then going out to get these things. Do you want to get this new position? Do you want to have this degree? Do you want to start this relationship? Do you want to do this new workout? You know, just these personal desires that you're asking for, these things. I feel this new total new moon eclipse can, for some, I feel like it can be an invitation to start up something really big, something really new, something really exciting, that thing to just like, you know, that you've been just holding off for a while, to just go for it. But I do feel that for some, if we get into this place of fear, you know, if we operate from this place of lack of confidence in things, that this new moon eclipse could translate as this anxiety, possibly. It's almost like, you know, those I'm picturing like those kind of like the things of popcorn that you would heat up over the stove top, and I feel like it's like things are popping and popping and popping, and it's like if we don't take some steps towards that internal energy is giving like almost like a 10 of wands energy, where this thing starts to build up, and we almost start to burn ourselves out on the excitement. You know, there's something that we're noticing needing to change, but we're not taking action. And this doesn't have to be something big that we're starting, but it could be a big idea that we're planting seeds towards. Maybe you're wanting to move from an apartment to a home in the next couple of years. This could be taking steps for that. What savings are we going to do? How do we get, what things do we need to learn? You know, like starting to get all that stuff in order, not letting there's like this Aries energy of like there's no time like the present. So that's what I'm feeling. This thing is like, this is a time to just like really go with the stuff, because when you think about that too, Leo, there's a lot of personal planets that are going to be before, because we have one more eclipse that's going to be happening, which will be happening earlier when this enters. But once we get around this new total new moon eclipse, the sun, the moon, Mercury, granted there'll be retrograde, but Mercury and Venus will all be in Aries. That's a lot of heat. And so I feel like if that heat is not directed in some sort of way, that could lead to a lot of anxiety and to impulsiveness as opposed to instincts, you know. But that's something to think about with that new moon total eclipse. You know, what are some new things that what are some big changes that you want to happen? What are some stuff that we really let go from this last thing, and how are we going to go into this going forward? What's that big energy looking like? But then, and I like that this is happening too, because right before we have this big kind of eclipse energy, Mercury is going to be going retrograde in Aries on the 1st of April, which funny enough is April Fool's Day. Very mercurial thing for Mercury to do. But this is going to be happening at 3:15 p.m. and they'll be retrograde in Aries until the 25th of April. Now, Mercury's going to station and is going to turn retrograde at 27 degrees 13 minutes, and it'll go back to about 15 degrees. So it's like this whole pay attention. I feel like, you know, what are some things from the start of this Aries season, you know, once Aries season starts, even up until right now, you know, maybe not up until right now, but from when Mercury enters into Aries up until that point, you know, how do I want to put this? Let me try that a different way. I feel this Mercury retrograde is going to invite us to kind of slow down a little bit, which I feel like could be nice for some, because this, again, with all this big energy that's coming up, with all this, like, kind of like planning, getting things together, that could provide this, that could bring about this stress that may be overwhelming, and I feel Mercury makes it more manageable, with them being retrograde for for some 20 some odd days. This gives you time to really kind of prioritize what it is that you want to tackle. What are some things that have been working? What are some things that haven't? What are some things that, with the things that haven't, what are some, like, how can I tweak this energy? And this could even be too, Aries is very independent, and I feel that can be where independence is great. Maybe for some, we need to ask for help, possibly. Consider where we may be taking off a little bit more than we can chew. Like, our eyes are bigger than our stomach, in a sense. And so I feel this Mercury retrograde, even if there are some where if we've noticed that the retrograde does kind of slow stuff down, kind of puts up these barriers, I feel like we don't want to rush this energy along. This pure kind of Aries energy that's going on here, I feel like we want it to be something that I feel is going to have some longevity, that we just don't want to burn it out all at once. And Mercury is just asking us to be mindful with it, to not just jump at the first thing because of fear, because of this, because of that. Like, they want us to make sure that we've analyzed everything, that we've considered options, we've worked some ideas and stuff, and then when they turn direct on the 25th, after, once we get into Taurus season, then we can really start grounding some things. We can really start seeing the fruits of our labors there, Leo. So I feel like this Mercury retrograde could be one where it may seem like, and I even feel for some, there may be something where we've been getting some traction and we may notice like a slight block or like a slowdown. But I feel like with it happening on April Fools, it's not that things are taking away from you. We could feel like, oh, we finally had this momentum, but then it's all gone all of a sudden. Like, what's the universe doing? It's almost like it's playing a trick. But I just feel like it might be just like, there's this patience that's coming in, because I feel like it might be like a blessing in disguise, this Mercury retrograde in Aries. I feel like we can play around with this and really make this work. So, but just a little something I feel like to just think about with that energy. And then the last one, we have the lovely Empress. That's going to be Venus. That'll be moving into Aries on the 4th of April at about 9 p.m. and then we'll be there through the 29th of April. Now, this is a tricky place for Venus to be, because she's technically in detriment in Aries, because that's the opposite sign. Aries is opposite of the sign that one of the signs that she rules over, Libra. And I feel with this Venus and Aries energy that for some this can invite, and again, considering too how this is forming the aspect that this is forming with your Leo placements, this could be one where, again, kind of talking about that independence, that this could be where we can find more balance in our relationships, where there are times where we do want to do stuff together and hang out. That's lovely. We don't want that to become that codependence. We want it to be operating in a place of interdependence. And I feel like that can be the question for some. It's just like, where has that line maybe been blurred a little bit? Maybe where have we been maybe a little hyper independent, or have we been like in that codependency? It's just like, how do we reestablish that balance in our relationships with, of course, with others? But I even feel like this could even be with different things, different, almost like this could be with substances possibly. But I almost feel like that when we get into that impulsiveness of Aries, it's like looking at the things that we do just sort of jump at, maybe for that immediate type of fix. But it's almost like there's this it's like in that impulsiveness, it's it's not really healing the main problem. It's like I almost feel like there's this energy with that Aries of needing a bravery to when we that thing that we jump at maybe for some Leo, if this is resonating with you, that energy that we jump out, that thing that we're like, it's presenting us two things there, Leo. For some, it's like there's this relationship I feel like with other things that we have this just sort of like knee jerk reaction. There's no, again, kind of impulse control. This is something to be mindful of, to find healthier expressions for this energy. For some others, Aries is one that does, when they see something, they're going to go out and get it. Like there's this cockiness and I kind of dig that in Aries. But I do feel that there's something here about understanding that this almost like this energy of entitlement, even that like we may be thinking that something is ours, but knowing that just take that as it resonates, Lee. I feel like that could even be something that comes up for some others here, like this energy of ownership, possibly, whether this be like, oh, this person is mine, and not that necessarily that you feel like you're possessing them, but it's, I don't know, it's just showing up a little bit differently there, Leo, with this Venus in Aries here. There's this mindfulness, but there is this thing too, though, with this energy, Venus being here, about needing to feel a little more alive, to be a little more, Libra, Venus can be very peaceful, very serene, very, just like about the calm. But I feel there is that Martian energy. Mars rules over Aries. There's that side of that that's, I feel like the Empress is needing to kind of let her hair down a little bit, to just kind of go with the flow, sort of do some things that spark up this sense of fear, this sense of, and turn that fear into excitement, embrace this healthy level of stress. And that could even be some too, even reestablishing your relationship with stress, because everyone tends to say they're stressed out, and I don't doubt that for a second, but it's just like, how do we even establish a healthier relationship with that? Because we need that stress in order to fuel us there, Leo. So that's even something to think about. And depending on where your Leo placements are at, like I've been saying, this is going to be forming a trine with your placements, which trines can be very harmonious relationships, because the planets that are forming with them are in the same element. With yours being fire, Aries being fire, so they can talk, but how Aries goes about things and how Leo goes about things are very different. And so I feel that where trines can be this harmonious kind of movement type of energy, I feel that there's going to be almost like this sense of, I almost feel like this Aries energy may poke at you a little bit, in a sense, there, Leo, almost trying to get you just to kind of show you who you really are, in a sense, and not in a negative way, but just more so kind of reveal where we may get into the state of, like, again, like I'm feeling like an entitlement, or like and not that Leo energy is but how Leo energy is very childlike energy. I have a lot of Leo in my chart, and you know how sometimes as a kid they can be where they're very possessive of things, and yeah, just very, very interesting what's coming through there. So I just feel like be mindful with that there, Leo, again, as that resonates. But let's go ahead and get into your first card here there, Leo, because I like this, because you have the Weaver card in reverse, which is a card of rediscovery and transition. And I feel like I feel this Aries energy is you kind of transitioning, like you seeing things in a different, like your eyes kind of opening in a different type of way there, Leo. You being in this place of where you're weaving your own actions, weaving your own adventure, finding this willpower, this bravery, this confidence to go out there and just, like, I don't know, just go get the things that you want. But but I feel like it's coming from a different place. It doesn't feel like that. Because it's just like I almost feel like for some, I'm not sure how to describe this, but it's like there's this energy of it feels like that something is yours, but it's almost like we're rediscovering, like, it's like we've created this image around something here. And let me get some tarot on this, Leo, to see if I can understand, get a little bit more with this Weaver card here. Because Aries energy can be a little pushy sometimes. It can be this, but I only feel like that that pushiness is coming through is because there's this, because because there's this, like this, there's this fear almost, I feel like, of getting maybe what you want, of creating your destiny or something along those lines, that we want to take maybe something else from others in a sense. Or let me see what's going on here, Leo. So you have the Nine of Pentacles, the Ten of Pentacles, the Two of Pentacles, and then the Seven of Swords in reverse. And then you have the Five of Swords upright here, Leo. And with the Nine of Pentacles being here, it feels like that. I almost feel like, Leo, there may be this kind of evaluation of the things that you've kind of taken comfort in, is what I'm feeling with this, kind of with this Nine of Pentacles being here. Because it just seems like with the Nine of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles, that how things have been lining up, or the things that we may have sought this sort of harmony in, or or the things that we thought that we wanted, in a sense. There's just something here with the Two of Pentacles that doesn't seem to balance out with that energetically. And I almost feel like that there could even be this frustration that could even happen here with this Aries energy, that we're not feeling like we can. It's like, and it's almost like you've been given this information, Leo. Let's say, for example, and not that I would ever, wish that for, but let's say like we were putting all of our eggs in this one basket. We were going to go to this school. We were going to go to this thing. And it's like, for some, it's like we've been denied that and now we don't know what to do. Or there's this energy of we've gone through this thing and we're not getting what we want from it. Now it just sort of, there's this truth that's coming through with the Seven of Swords here. It's just like, oh, this is like, I don't know. It's like, this is not the tools that I've wanted here. Like, where we've put our energy towards, it's just like, it's not working. This may have been a dream, maybe, that other people have told us how to express, or maybe we've been, because Leo energy is one, I feel, because it's trying to find that sense of self, how to express, itself. There's this potential of doing things in order to please others, as opposed to taking what you naturally like and then letting those who gravitate towards that energy find you, and instead of like forcing ourselves upon our energies upon others, if that makes sense, Leo. This is very, very kind of, but I guess that's what a rediscovery is about, because it's just like, this seems very confusing, this energy that's coming through here, Leo. But I almost feel that this can be somewhere we are going through this transition, or at least this energy is inviting you to really kind of ask yourself where we may not have the courage to be who we really want to be, or admit maybe where we may not know something. Because I feel like it's like, maybe for some, we may even been kind of forcing something on here that, again, we're just discovering is not that's not coming together quite right. I think I'm gonna pull out of that, Leo. But Yeah, just something I feel like to just kind of just think about here with that energy. But let's move on from that. Let's hydrate and let's talk about this Libra energy, because earlier in Aries season, we're going to be having a full noon penumbral lunar eclipse that's going to be happening in Libra, and that's going to be happening on the 25th of March at midnight. And with this, and it's going to be happening at 5 degrees 7 minutes of Libra. So if you have any Leo placements at that point, that's going to be forming a sextile, which is very exciting energy. That's actually pretty close to a couple degrees away from my Mercury placement. But this could bring about some excitable energy for you here. This is interesting because a penumbral lunar eclipse, that's when the moon is, this is where my science a little bit gets away from me, but it's when the moon is not completely in like the Earth's shadow. So it's a more of a subtle type of tinge that's happening over the moon as opposed to just like a full eclipse. But I feel it's very interesting what I'm feeling with this eclipse energy, because again, eclipses bring about this change. But I feel there are these subtle changes that are going to be brought up with this eclipse. Some things, it's like really, again, kind of tuning in to not just like how you feel emotionally, but how you feel spiritually and how you feel physically. That trifecta is what's coming through there, because I feel there are going to be with this full moon that's going to be happening. I almost feel like that these needs these personal needs that we need on this journey are going to be revealed to you, Leo. And there's going to be some things some subtle hints and things of some stuff that we may need to let go of in order to change. This could be some relationships, possibly how we're interacting with them. Again, that could be that we get to this place of where like relationships, whether this be in love, whether this be with friends, whether this be at work, Libra deals with those one-on-one intimate type of relationships where there's that dynamic that's happening there. We may notice that there's these subtle changes that are going on in this stuff. And what do we do with that information there once we get to that Aries new moon eclipse, or total solar eclipse? And I just feel like that there's this, because Libra deals with not just, again, that relationships, but this sense of harmony, how do we deal with chaos, and how do we stay in that sense of equilibrium and bring about that serenity in all of this? And I feel that this could be where, if we're not mindful, that, because the thing with sextiles, and just thinking with sextiles, if you have any points around this, they're kind of like potential. You can either do something with them or you don't. The energies are just going to dissolve. But I do feel that there is this thing here with this eclipse that we may not notice this instantly, but I feel there are going to be some. Usually eclipses energy can take a while to build up as well there, Lee. I want to say it could be as long as like 6 weeks, if not a little bit longer. But this energy can, I feel like, just like subtle changes to where you just like, where some things that you've maybe used to be able to just kind of shake off or just kind of not pay attention to, just become a little bit louder and a little bit louder. They just come to your attention very subtly. So just pay attention, I feel like, to just kind of really tune in. And when you're noticing this disharmony, what is the source of that? Where is that coming from, and how we can better get ourselves and maybe even prepare for this shift here. I almost feel like that this full moon eclipse for you could even be interesting, could even be almost like this, how do I want to put this? I don't want to say like almost like just like not a warning, but like like an alert in a sense of just like, hey, you're going through this rediscovery right now. There's this transition that's needing to happen. How do we feel about that? How are we coming to peace with that? But let me talk about your oracle card here, Leo, because you have the painter card here, which is a card of productivity and creation. And just with what I'm feeling, like really feeling from your this reading here, Leo, that this can be a time for you to just kind of recreate yourself in a sense, and maybe even like how, I feel for some there are going to be some relationships possibly that may be changing with this, but I do feel that it is paying attention to things that have been getting in the way of your creation in a sense. What are some things that because I mean, you have this both, that's interesting. You have both this weaver and this painter here, which are both rock and water energy. And I feel that there's some like emotional things. I feel like just thinking with that water energy, that even though we're in this energy of fire, there's this water energy that's coming through here, of course, with these painter cards, that are needing to be mindful of how our feelings are, or how certain either relationships are making us feeling, or how certain things are preventing our ability to create. And I just don't mean in just like art and things. This could be even like your creation and productivity at your jobs. Do you feel like your place allows you this energy of expression? Do you feel there's this, that you're leaving your mark in a sense, or that you're feeling this? I'm quite, that's very interesting, Leo. But like that you haven't hit this wall in a sense, and that and just almost looking at how things are running here, Leo. Let me see what's going on with this painter card here. Because I feel like there's something here where we're not being fulfilled, or we're not getting, we can maybe be a little more productive with your time here, Leo, or that. But let me see what's going on here. Let's see if I can get some more answers with this. Thank you, guys. Oh, there you are, Leo. So you have the Strength card and the King of Swords upright. And then you have the Eight of Wands and the Three of Cups in reverse. And let's talk about you for a moment, Leo. Because, I feel with your ruler also being just kind of being in Aries, and thinking about how this strength is, I almost feel like for some there's this energy of, because something's slowing down here with the Eight of Wands, and I feel that there's something that's sapping this strength. There's not a productive use of your energies in a sense. This could be from what we're doing in our downtime. This could be the people that we may be socializing with there, Leo, with this Three of Cups here. Something that is preventing you, I feel, from, and this might be something that Leo, that we have, like, it's just like we have this knowledge here, but yet there's still something. It's like maybe we have that knowledge, but we're not sure how that transition looks like, But I feel this Strength card here is maybe even asking if this is like a certain group or something that is hindering this production or this creativity, that we may need to have the strength to move on from this, to kind of state our piece. And this could be where certain relationships may be broken in a sense, or may be where they need to part ways, or it's just like the foundation is not like it used to be with this Nine of Cups. We're not enjoying our surroundings here. Nine of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles, and Yeah, just I feel really something I feel like to kind of consider. How do you want to start off this zodiacal, this new zodiacal season? It's just like this is a time to create, to be productive, to be. So yeah, be mindful of that, Leo. But as far as like any sort of things that may be hindering that, but all right, let's get to this next energy here, which is Pisces. Because you have Mars that's in Pisces, you have Saturn that's in Pisces, and then you have Neptune. Now, and that's interesting with this energy, all this Aries energy here, because Mars is the natural planet associated with Aries, and Mars will enter Aries on the 22nd, or excuse me, Mars will enter Pisces on the 22nd of March at about 4:45 p.m. and it will be there through the 30th of April. Now, with all this Aries energy that is going on, especially during that new moon solar eclipse, when you think about the dispositor, the dispositor is the ruling is the planet that is associated with the sign that the other planets are in. So all this Aries energy again is associated with Mars, who's in this Pisces energy, who's in that imaginative, intuitive, sensitive type of energy here, Leo. And Pisces is one. I feel with this energy that there could be this low energy for some. Because again, Pisces is a one of reflection, a one of rest, a one of dreams in things. And I feel that this could be where we want to be mindful. I feel like even of pushing ourselves too hard, because Pisces has this very vivid imagination, very dreamy. And I feel like we can maybe be careful, especially with the Eight of Wands. We were talking about that being here. As far as like forcing your energies being, it's one thing to be productive and be creative, but just be mindful about overworking yourself. I feel like with this kind of Pisces energy, but I do feel there is this awareness that comes through as far as what we can tackle with this Mars in Pisces. And I feel like with that happening too, with both Saturn and Neptune being in this as well, now our energy is, I feel like this is, I feel like this is just being a little more, because again, Pisces is very sensitive energy, and I feel like this is just paying attention to as far as just like how people have affected your productivity, possibly just thinking with this painter here, rediscovering how you go about things energetically, how you transition through this journey. But this is one too, though, I feel like is nice because I feel this kind of blends in that kind of Mars instincts with that Pisces intuition. It's like it's like it almost feels like that we even know what to. It's like almost this could be this awareness of like how source wants us to move, how what are that part of us that's connected to that higher energy, that's connected to that deeper force. It's like we're getting this downloads and we just instinctively know what to do, how to get things in, just get things in, just emotion there, Leo. So but be mindful with this. I feel like this Mars and Pisces energy, as far as like overexerting yourself, I feel like that's a big one. And I feel like this is just could be even more kind of active, sort of mental energy that's going on there, as far as like we could feel this. I almost feel like that there's this potential for like even like an overactive imagination even possibly there, Leo. So, and it's just like how do we constructively utilize that too, but Then you have Saturn that's going to be in Pisces. And Saturn will be in Pisces until the 24th of May 2025. Now Pisces, or excuse me, Saturn's been in Pisces for since March of 2023. And Saturn's finishing up his last round of the astrological wheel as well, being in Pisces. And this is a very interesting place for Saturn to be, because I feel he's been bringing about this, because there's this awareness of consciousness that comes with Pisces as well. And I feel like that this has been an invitation to take that imaginative energy and really get some stuff grounded, but also too, I feel like learning how to, especially now with Mars being in Pisces, I feel like this is one to again really get disciplined as far as like how we're expending our creative energies, in a sense, rediscover some different ways of going about this journey, even in a sense, where have we maybe been escaping. And that's something too, and actually now I'm saying about that, let me backtrack a little bit. Be mindful of escapism with Pisces energy. And I feel like with this Mars energy, that if something feels a little too hard or something like that, that we may tend to shrink away or just escape. So that's something I feel like to be mindful of. But yeah, but this Saturn in Pisces is really kind of getting disciplined on understanding yourself energetically, understanding that, just this bigger idea of that we're these energetic beings going through this human experience, and how certain things can impress on us, and how that does affect the flow of your energies, affects your productivity, prevents you even discovering this productive side of you here, there, Leo. So that's even something kind of interesting. That can be even an invitation to be a little bit more productive in your self-expression, be a little more active in it. Maybe we're not completing whole murals, but maybe we're doing a little painting each day, or maybe we're doing a little writing each day, maybe we're doing a little crafting each day, or just some things that, and it's not like we're just doing stuff to add more stuff onto our plate, but just more stuff to just kind of regulate your energy a little bit more. And I feel like that ties in nicely, because the last energy here, we have Neptune that's going to be in Pisces until the 30th of March. And granted, both Saturn and Neptune will do some retrograde back between Aries and Pisces. But, this Neptune and Pisces energy is really special, because we won't experience that again in this lifetime. Neptune takes a very long time to go around the zodiac wheel. So this is one I feel like to really kind of appreciate. And we are in this sort of, and we have been, since 2011, been where the veil has been a lot thinner, with Neptune being, she's the modern ruler of Pisces. And so there's this, we're in a unique time, I feel like, to understand our place in this, understand our place energetically, understanding that we can create our realities, and I feel like is this acceptance, I feel like, that comes with Neptune and Pisces energy, that again, like this, it's not to say that when tough situations happen to us, that they don't suck, but it's how do we make peace with that, and understanding that it's all part of a grander experience. This is something that your soul wanted to experience during this round, and how do we come to peace with that, and grow from this experience, and turn that stuff into strengths there, Leo. But let me get some tarot on this, or excuse me, get an oracle on this. Interesting, Leo. Thank you, guys. So you have the Muse card in reverse here. And this is a card of generosity and naivety. And, Leo, just just again thinking about that Pisces energy. Pisces is one too, especially thinking about Mars and Pisces again. Mars and Pisces, I feel it can also lead to where we may overgive our energy, where we may extend and be a little too generous with what we're doing, give and give and give, but not have that reciprocity. And I feel like this is being mindful of that. It's not like we're necessarily cutting people off, but we're just being aware that and this is something that I kind of I tend to I don't want to say struggle, I kind of struggle with. Leo energy again is, and I'm not saying that Leo energy is naive, but there is that childlike quality that comes with Leo. Leo is one that is naturally happy, that's uplifted. It's not to say that you can't feel upset, but there is this sort of the grass is greener. The sun always rises. There is that enthusiasm that can come with Leo. Like Leo, I feel like does happiness, like no other sign really does. There is this sort of appreciation for life, but I feel that there could be those that may take that for granted, that just expect you to put on a show. And it may not be coming from a malicious place, but they just expect you to do the dance, be the sun, shine bright, give, and then look at how that's popping up. How you got these Three of Cups here, you got the Three of Cups in reverse. Leo, I feel that there's something here, like, and then maybe even when I was talking about that energy of yours, in a sense, or where it felt like this entitlement that I was getting earlier, that might even be for some where some feel entitled to your energy there, Leo, your productivity, your creations, your this, and this could be a time for you to transition to this place of power because let me get some tarot on this, Leo, and get some details with this muse, because you have a lot of creative stuff here too. The muse, the painter, the weaver, all of those are absolutely, it's like there's all this just like natural creative energy that I feel like is taking away from who you are. And I feel like people recognize Leo. The reason you're known as such a creative sign is because, again, you're developing that sense of ego. You can literally be whoever you want to be, and that's exciting. That does give you, like, how do I want to show up today and how do I want to bring it? But we need balance. Six of Pentacles. I was feeling that earlier there, Leo, as I was talking about this. And I may have mentioned that earlier, but thank you guys, you have the Page of Pentacles, the Six of Pentacles, the Nine of Cups, the Fool, Uranus energy, and then the Magician, Mercury energy in reverse. And then you have the Knight of Swords upright. Now, I find that interesting because you got Mercury here that's about to go retrograde. Mercury's in retrograde here. And I feel like this is, again, just kind of paying attention to where you're giving your resources. Like where are we manifesting from? Who are we manifesting for? And I feel like before, it's interesting because the Fool card, this can be an energy of a naive energy as well. And even the Pages. And so I even feel for some that there may even be, just again, take this as it resonates. If you're starting up maybe like a business possibly or entering a contract with someone, making sure that this is something that you want to invest in there, Leo, with this Page of Pentacles, and that we're not fueling someone else's dream, or at least that there is this sense of harmony, this sense of balance that's coming through here with the Six of Pentacles, and that we're not just so blatantly or just so giving, that selfishness again that comes through with that the sun being in Aries. There may be a need to be a little more selfish with your energies, and even for some, I'm even feeling like being mindful of who you may even share your wishes with, possibly. That some may even take this creation and kind of run off with it. Maybe someone takes your idea, possibly. And not that we're being paranoid, but It's just that we're just holding maybe stuff a little closer to the chest there, allowing this to be. Yeah, that's very interesting there, Leo. But I even feel with the Knight of Swords being here as well, that there's this focus that the Knight of Swords has. And I feel that there's this thing we can be maybe a little where we've been maybe been over generous elsewhere. This can be a time where now that you freed up some of that energy, that time, because the pentacles are more than just our sense of money. This is resources in all senses, our time, our manifestation, our material goods. But this is like taking some of that generosity and be more generous with you and your wishes, and having this more focus there. Start us some things that you want to do, rediscover what it is that you want to create there. And that's interesting too, because I feel like that's going to tie in nicely with where. Let me actually go ahead and move that now, because I feel like that'll tie in nicely with this. Well, now next energy that we're going to be talking about here, Leo, because you have. Let's talk about Pluto and Aquarius, because Pluto is going to be, and this is going to be a long one. We got Pluto and Aquarius until at least to the 8th of March 2043. So yeah, we gotta settle in here, Leo. But I feel that the reason I brought up that energy is I wanted to skip to that is because throughout these 20 years, wherever your Leo placements are at, this is going to be forming oppositions with your signs. And now oppositions can be tensor type of energies. There's this polarity. You got that Aquarius energy that's trying to, because even with the opposite signs though, oppositions where they can be a little bit tougher, any aspect can be tough. It just depends on how we work with the energies. But the nice thing about oppositions though is that there is some sort of, even when they're at odds, they're both are trying to do a similar thing. Aquarius is that unique, that individuality perfected, and how them embodying that uniqueness and embracing their genius and all of that, how that affects the collective and how that raises the vibration. Where Leo is also that sense of self, that sense of ego, but it's this, again, there's more focus on self as opposed to the other that comes through with Aquarius. They're still focusing on themselves, but it is in the grand scheme of things. But I feel this energy can, what may be kind of challenging here for your Leo placements, or it's just like, how do you still show up for yourself, express yourself in that, how do I want to put this? How do you stay in that sense of who you are, this identity that you've built in yourself, while doing for others, while not losing yourself as well, not doing this to please others. And I feel like, because Pluto can deal with that sense of power and that sense of transformation, and where we need to dig deeper and look at the things that do control us, from not even just the people and the environment, from Aquarius energy can deal with social media, or like in the internet, how that environment kind of affects us, in the sense where we tend to give our power there, or it's just like paying attention to how I feel like things can potentially kind of stifle that creative, that self-expression of yours. It's like, it's like, how do you keep that sense of self while, it's very interesting, like how, while there's all the societal things that are going on as well. It's a little bit like how we're showing up. Very interesting, I feel like, time that can be for kind of Leo energy, because this whole reading has been a little kind of intense there, Leo. And I just feel that this could be where you're I feel like you may be in for some kind of deep questionings here, especially wherever Pluto may be asking your questions in their chart. So, let's say, for example, like I have like I said, I have a lot of Leo. The first Leo thing that Pluto will hit will be my Mercury placement. So it's just like, how do how do how does my way of thinking and how do I communicate and express myself? How do I perceive things? How is that being challenged in the views that Pluto is bringing up with how society is moving forward, with where things are going? How do, like how does that future self look like? How do I embrace this thought into more so kind of solidifies? I see this future sense, but this, there's this like, it's like, again, there's this like this push and pull, that, or this back and forth that kind of happens with this opposition energy here, Leo. But let me get an oracle on this and get some details with this energy here. Interesting. Thank you, guys. So, Leo, you have the Forgotten card in reverse, and this is a card of missed opportunities and fear of failure. And I kind of feel with this card here, Leo, I don't feel like this is necessarily that you are missing any opportunities. I feel the only opportunity that could be missed in this energy is you being yourself. Failure to be who you are. And I feel like there's this fear of how will that be received, like what I was talking about with my Mercury placement. It's just like, how is what I'm thinking, how might that be at odds, or how I may communicate, how that may be at odds with where society is at, with where things are kind of controlling, because Pluto just brings about the energy. This is how, it's just bringing it's just a topic. What we do with that is what matters, how that energy expresses itself. And so I feel that, where sometimes I feel people could maybe get in this place of where, how do I want to put this, Leo? I feel that this could be I feel like a more sadder thing that could happen with Leo energy is that there's a fear that maybe it won't be recognized, or that maybe it will be forgotten, or that it won't be approved, or that you won't get that applause, or because it's not that I feel like Leo energy does it for the applause, but I mean, Leo energy knows how to work a room, knows how to stand out, knows how to shine. It's not like it's just doing that, it's just natural. I feel like for Leo energy, whether and this doesn't necessarily have to be where you're the gregarious type. You can be the strong, silent type and still shine as bright. You've noticed how in some certain movies, people celebrate the strong, silent type. They love the person who's the person a few words there. But I just feel that there's something here, I feel, Leo, that if we're not mindful, that we could end up surrendering our power over to something here. That sense of expression, that creativity, that who you are could be lost, and that could be, and again, not necessarily a missed opportunity, but more so that like it may prolong the journey a bit more, or not even. I mean, you're exactly where you need to be on this journey, but Let me get some tarot on this, Leo. Let's see what's going on with that. Yeah, because this Pluto in Aquarius energy is going to be, it's a slow moving one, and I feel this is going to be one where we're going to have to come together more collectively. This is not thinking about, because everyone has a point to play, and I feel like that's what Aquarius reminds us, that in that individuality, that doesn't mean we're foregoing the group. That it's just like I feel like Aquarius energy is a very healthy expression of boundaries when it comes to friends and groups and things, because it's, let me get some tarot on this, Leo, before I get into that. Interesting. But yeah, I just feel like this isn't. But you have the. Let me get myself focused here, Leo. You have the Nine of Swords and the Ten of Wands in reverse, and then you have the Ace of Cups, the Moon card, Pisces energy, and then the High Priestess, which is Moon energy, and there's a lot of lunar shenanigans here. But let's start with the Moon, because I feel this Moon card here is this for some. I feel that there is this energy of like it's more so like a fear of maybe putting our stuff out there, of allowing ourselves to be because the moon card is a can be a very it's the scariest card of the major arcanas. But I feel like with us being in this Aries energy, this is not a time to fear failure. This is a time to embrace it. We're going to fail on this journey. That's just going to happen. But it's just, what do we learn from that? And not bring that along, let that failure be a burden, and let it be something that, we're anxious about. It's like how I would tell when I used to work in food and beverage, there would be a lot of people like, oh, I'm like, this never failed. Oh, I'm afraid of breaking stuff or breaking a glass. And I'm just like, you're going to. Like, let's just get that out the way right now. Break something, get it out of your system, so we're not worried about it anymore. Because I feel like it's like once it happens, then it really, yeah, does it suck in that moment? Sure. But guess what you learn? You learn to balance a little bit differently. You learn to adjust. You learn to be more mindful. You yell out corner. You do all these things in order to get to a better state there, Leo. And so I feel that for some, this is an energy of, again, like when I was saying that opportunity of just like Leo not being themselves, I feel like this could be an opportunity where you can miss opportunities because you're not creating them. You know what I mean? And because we're not being ourselves, we're not allowing ourselves to feel fulfilled. It's just like, I almost feel like we're just pouring these cups, we're just pouring our cup out, but we're not putting things back into that cup. Or the things we may be even putting into that cup may not be what necessarily resonates with us, but I feel the High Priestess being here, that there's this instinct, this intuition, something is telling you, because that's very intuitive energy, both the High Priestess and the Moon card being here. We're going to need this intuition, I feel, in order to navigate whatever this thing is that you're maybe afraid of failing. Maybe this is going for that, maybe this is releasing that song or that painting or that fashion or that clothing line or that book, or maybe this is going for that job or going for that promotion, going for whatever that's looking like, and just allowing yourself to be in this state of power here. I feel like Pluto is going to challenge you with this opposition. Is going to put you to things that, again, that don't quite feel right, but it's like, how do we work with that tension? How do we integrate this stuff? Maybe this fear, for example, we want to do this thing, you do this Leo thing, but does this better the future? Does this do that? All this society, where society does that approve? Like, this is the individual, but yeah, just be mindful of that, Leo. Yeah, I don't feel like this is, yeah, this is just something too, I feel like, to kind of think about there, but and I even feel like, like the intentions of why we're doing things. Because if you're doing Leo energy, I feel like is one that's meant to leave something behind, some idea that, that you have done it, but I don't feel like you're doing it so you're not being forgotten, in a sense, because it's, I just like the motivation behind what we do, why we're doing things, is something that's coming up there too, Leo. But let's get into this last energy here, which is Taurus. Because you got Jupiter that's in Taurus, and then you got Uranus in Taurus. Now, Jupiter's going to be there until the 25th of May, 2024, of this year. And with Big Papa being in Taurus, this has really been kind of asking us, what is our self-worth? What have we been investing in? Do the things that we invest in actually make us feel good? Do they bring us a sense of peace? How are we growing in that capacity? What is that, the things the areas that we don't feel so secure in, or we feel self-conscious, and how do we build off of that? How do we expand from that? What do we need to do to yeah, just to grow? And I feel too that this invites us to, again, just kind of well, not again, but to remember to appreciate the simple things. Taurus is not a very, even though their sign is one that's been associated with money and things. It's resources. It's about the things that bring you calm. This could be just being in your home with your family, whatever that's looking like. This could be finding security in your art. This could be finding, like whatever this is looking like. I feel like this is looking at what we value in a bigger type of way there. Yeah, like a bigger type of way, and see how the things that we've invested in, or the things that we identify with, how they help us grow there. But you also too have Uranus. That's really like that. We got Uranus the full here. That'll be in Taurus until the 7th of July 2025, and he'll do some retrograding back between Gemini and Taurus. But this has been bringing about a lot of changes, seeing where we have given up maybe a lot of our freedom, and where we need to gain that back, get that sense of self-worth back. And I feel too, just because where these planets are at, depending on where your placements, this is forming a square, which again can be a tougher aspect, but it doesn't have to be. I feel like it's like, again, it's what we do with those energies, because when we're talking about this state of self-worth in things, and what we value, no one can tell you what you value other than you. So I feel like this is a nice energy here. It's really kind of challenging you to, or at least has been kind of challenging you, since they're both moving along here now. Granted, Uranus will go retrograde a little bit later this year, but now that they're getting ready to move through, get towards the latter half of this energy in Taurus, Jupiter and Uranus will be forming a conjunction here soon. This is, I feel like with all the changes as far as to like what has been going on since Uranus has been in Taurus since 2018, the things that we used to value, how has that changed? Where are we putting our energy into now? How are we being productive in where things are going? And Taurus can also deal with the environment, and I feel like it's paying attention to how our environment has been changing, and how maybe even with Jupiter and Taurus, how we may have taken that for granted. And, thinking about that last little bit, how can we even better show up for this home that we're on, this opportunity that we've been given, going through this journey here. But let me get your last oracle card here, Leo. All right, Leo. Interesting. Thank you, guys. So you have the Masquerade here, the Masquerade card here, Leo, and this is a card of hiding your true self and projection, and that's very interesting, because your whole thing here has been a lot about, well, not a whole lot about, but I mean, there is this, I mean, the forgotten, as far as like, what do we maybe, how do I want to put this? I feel this energy with this Masquerade is like kind of asking you, why have we been maybe hiding ourselves? What are some opportunities that you have missed because we've not embodied ourselves? And not necessarily, and I don't feel like it's something that you've missed. Like, it's like now that that door is closed, it's going to be like there won't be another opportunity like that again. And in a sense, that is true, but that doesn't mean that something better won't come along, you know? But I feel there is this, because maybe even for some, I almost feel like there's this traces of Pisces energy that's kind of coming on there, where how do I want to put this? It's almost like you've put on this mask, or it's like you, for some, it's like I feel like it's that we know how to play this part, we've done this role, but it's like it's just a projection. It's something that we've just kind of cast out there. It's this 3D sort of image that just knows how to walk the walk, knows how to turn it on, knows how to do the Leo things, but it doesn't feel authentic. You know, it feels like that we're being generous towards others, but in that we're denying ourselves in a sense there, Leo. Which again, I feel like of all the signs, that's a tough place for Leo energy to be in. And I feel like that's one you really want to be mindful of, that, Leo. How you, and this, when I'm talking about this role that we're playing, this could be like how society tells us to do. This is how what our lover, partner want us to, it not even it may not be how they want us to be, but it might even be how we think they want us to be, so that we're not forgotten. This could be how your children, this could be with your, I don't know if I said friends, this could be your co-workers, this could be your community, your whatever this is looking like. Look at this stuff here, Leo, and see where we may need to rediscover yourself. You know, find this inner strength to be who you are, because that's, you got a lot of earth and you got a lot of water with your oracle cards here. And so I feel like this is like, you got this new garden, this new soil here to try to do something different. Take this ace, even like with your aces, you just got the Ace of Pentacles here. I know you got the Ace of Cups. So it's like you got this water here. Now it's like, let's redo this land in a sense, you know? And I love this, Leo. Hold on. Actually, as I'm talking about it. All right, Leo. Thank you, guys. Last little bit here. All right, so you have the Devil and the Seven of Pentacles in reverse, and then you have the Ace of Pentacles, the Six of Swords, and the Five of Wands upright. And let's switch back over here, Leo. Because I feel with this, it's like, here's your garden. It's like I was talking about with the Seven of Pentacles here. And I feel like this is really kind of looking at the things that you've invested in thus far. Do they resonate who you are? Is this image that we've built? You know, is this truly who you are? And if it is, dope. But if not, I feel this is an opportunity for you to start fresh. Because I do feel this Five of Pentacles, and you know, I feel this Five of Pentacles, this Five of Wands. I feel this is Saturn in Leo, and there may be some energies that maybe want, because Saturn is that discipline, that restriction, and there may be some who may not resonate with this new you that you're trying to do. And it's not even, I feel like it's new to them, but I feel like this is something that is going to take some getting used to. And there are going to be those who, you know, you may need to work out some relationships, you know, or some, again, either relationships with people or maybe a certain environment or whatever this is looking like. But I feel there's going to be that need with the Devil being here to resist this urge maybe to go back into the part, to just be the Leo that's just the performer, that's just doing all the things, as opposed to being, maybe some people, like, again, they expect you to be this creator, but again, Leo is just this energy of expression. And it's just like, what does that mean to you? That's the biggest thing. I feel like first and foremost, you know, that's where Leo energy comes into play. It's not letting anyone else tell you what to do. You have the tools, you know. it's like when I think about when with the child, no one tells them what, they may have heard about different things, but it's like, oh, this is what resonates with me. When I was a kid, I wanted to be, my first one was an astronaut. I either wanted to be an astronaut or a lawyer or a janitor. Cover the range there. Like, but the skies was the limit. You can tell me no. And I was like, it didn't matter what it was, like I was going to be the best at it. And that's where I feel like this is going now. It's doing what you're doing, being the best at it. But I feel we're going to need to, I don't know, with this new experience, we may be maybe forgetting some people. Not forgetting, but you know what I mean, Leo. But very interesting reading here, Leo. But if any of that resonated with you, give it a thumbs up. And share this, Leo, if you know someone. Oh, so it's not pink for this one. How fascinating. So I just did Cancers not too long ago. Sidebar, and that thumbs up was pink. Why it was pink, we don't know. But share this, Leo, because again, I feel like that's a really tough one when a Leo doesn't feel like they can express themselves, or that they're putting on this show for someone else, or that whatever this may be looking like there for you, Leo. And then subscribe there, you strength card, and hit that bell button to get notified on all these videos each week. And then last little bit, if you have, Leo, and I completely forgot to mention this, or just remembered that if you're curious with how these energies are working in your chart there, Leo, book a reading with me. I have links down in the description box below with different services that I offer. I also have them on Instagram as well, but we can talk about, how your Leo energies may be expressing themselves. Maybe you're like me who have a lot of Leo, like trying to figure out what that means, or maybe you're trying to figure out where the sun is transiting in your sign, or these other planets where they're sitting in your different houses, what aspects is forming with your different planets, how that's working through when things are in Aries. At the beginning, degrees are still in my 8th house, but once they move along, they move to my 9th house. So that's always an exciting time for learning, a time for growth, maybe even a time for travel. But yeah, you can just learn how these energies operate in your place there, Leo. It's very fascinating. But definitely check that out in the description box. But also, we can maybe discover, maybe you have some Cancer in your placements. If you do, Leo, if you got any Cancerian, sun, moon, rising, wherever, Leo, come on over to the Chariot and Friends. I do videos Monday through Friday there, discuss lunar shenanigans, and do tarot cards based off what sign she's in. And you got our lovely ruler. Where the high priestess go? You have our lovely ruler here. And we'll talk about all that stuff there, Leo. And even discuss the moon even when they're Pisces. And all that housekeeping, Leo, is down in the description box below. But let me get your surprise cards here, Leo. So I can get you out of here. So you have the Three of Pentacles in reverse here, Leo. And for some, I do feel that, especially when we were talking about Three of Cups earlier, you got that muse there with the Three of Cups. I feel there are certain places where you're in collaboration that aren't working. Like maybe certain groups are no longer doing it like it was. Maybe there's a certain job and I'm not telling you to quit your job, but this would have been if you've been feeling kind of like it's just the same old thing each day. You're just putting on this face, just doing this stuff. And it's one thing to make sure, because listen, I'm not saying we quit our jobs to pursue, maybe a painting career unless that's what you want to do, but I feel like there's more than just the work. I feel like this Three of Pentacles is giving to even just talking about that. This could just even be making more times for just some hobbies there, Leo, too. And maybe work is what you do. Maybe that's your jam. How are you expressing yourself there? There's nothing wrong with that. But it's like, what are you bringing that's doing more? Maybe you're driving trucks. How's your truck? Did we got that bad boy all decaled out, making it's like a show of who you are? Maybe we're in a cubicle. Do we have stickers? What's your desk looking like? How can we bring some more fun there, Leo? To make this more and bring some more happiness, some more joy, just sunshine is what I'm really kind of getting with this Three of Pentacles being here. But yeah, there's certain energies just may not be working like they used to, Leo. So something to really kind of look into. But let me get your other oracle card here, Leo, so I can get you out of here. Because this was a very, very interesting reading. Fascinating, Leo. All right. Thank you, guys. So you have the cleanse card here, Leo. And you know, I feel that there is this, especially for, I feel like those with this groups and things, I feel like for some we may be kind of clearing out house. You know, like there may be again certain energies that are no longer resonating with you, certain people, certain things that is just maybe getting in the way of this creativity where you've been very generous with your time. That is, but again, it's been keeping you from really being who you are. And you know, if this is some sort of like friendship thing, whatever this harmony is, it may not necessarily that we need to cleanse them or clear them out or anything like that, but more so maybe we've been sweeping a lot of stuff under the rug, maybe possibly. And maybe now there's a time to just like deal with some of that. Just like, hey, I've been doing, because I feel Aries energy can come across aggressively only when it's been keeping itself stifled, you know, and that's where that frustration comes. So it's a two-way street, I feel like, that's going through with that. But I feel that there's this need to just kind of talk about this, or kind of clean the air, you know, talk about some things like, hey, I've been feeling like I haven't been doing this, or whatever this may be looking like there, Leo. But I think I'm going to leave that there. A little something to think about. But you stay safe out there, Leo, with all this. Yeah, just remember to be you know, Leo, if you're rocking that Leo energy, it is meant to express itself. It's meant to be where it's, and however that's looked from your, you know, if you have Mercury in Leo, how do you express your thoughts and how you communicate? Venus in Leo, how do you express yourself in relationships? How do you show up? You know, what does that look like? You know, how do you create? How do you bring the sense of beauty, balance? Mars, how do you take action? You know, just think it rising. How do you view the world? How people are viewing you when you're presenting yourself? Just think about all this stuff there, Leo. Raise that vibration through the roof. And I will catch you, Leo. On the next one. Later.